in the shop. You can see there's several different scrolls that we have available to us. I'm looking currently at the spell Trick. It's an offensive type. Allows me to regain a little bit of overheat because of the way that it works. It lasts for 1 round, and it does damage based off of empty slots. So we're going to go ahead and buy one. Now I have an updated one owned. Now that we're in the inventory, we go click on the scroll for Trick that we just purchased. We now click the use button. This will give us the glyph that we then practice, which will allow us to successfully learn the spell. Our spell deck is empty. Starting out, we have the spell Trick, as well as Spirit Sting and Magic Arrow. There are several tiers here, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 4 for the offensive group, each one having their own glyph per tier. We also have Dark Arts, which we have Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 for. We have the Charm section, which has Tier 1, 2, and 3. And then we have the Defense section, which has Tiers 1 through 4. Again, all of them having their own glyphs to assign a spell to. Now if we take one of these 3 spells, we can click on it. This gives us the description and allows us to add it to the deck. We have the duration, the slots that it takes up, the overheat, and the type of spell that it is. It also shows us what tier it is in the description. We can click on the add to deck, and as you can see, it adds to the deck. These slots are not tier sensitive, so you can add tier 2, tier 3, tier 4s. Go ahead and go through and we'll update our spell deck and get it ready for combat. Unfortunately, I don't have any more tier spells at this time to fill up that last slot. Now, as part of this, you can also click this button down here, which switches the spells with the glyphs. And you can make use of that when you go to the training dummy and practice some of our spells here to make sure we're ready for combat. Now you can also click the show deck here to see your spells should you forget the glyphs. That way you can practice them to make sure you get them correctly. Let's go on to some combat here and practice. We're going to start by taking on one of the easy guys, a Will-O-Wisp. You can see from the beginning of the fight that we have our spell deck all filled out down below. So we're going to go ahead and click on the fight button. Wait for the mob to load up and start casting some glyphs here. Didn't get that one quite right. Takes just a little bit of practice, but as you can see, we can go through and there's different spells we can use. Now if you watch as I'm casting these glyphs, the little bar at the bottom just above the red slowly moves up, showing my overheat as each spell is drawn, not actually cast. So you can overheat technically before you're able to actually cast the spells. What happens when you do hit that overheat of 15 is it prevents you from being able to cast anymore. You can still draw the glyphs, but it won't actually show up in the slot and will tell you that you've overheated. And it looks like I've actually picked up an item here. There's a little breakdown of the XP. Unfortunately, the icon didn't show up to show what item it is. But there you have it. There's a quick little rundown of how to load up your spell deck, how to purchase your spells, how to learn your spells, and how to use them in combat. If you have any more questions, feel free to drop a comment in the comments below. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and keep an eye out for more.